Okay. So I don't know if you've looked in the classroom, but we have explained what I personally feel like are some of the most important basic things that a person should know in grammar. Okay.
Mhm.
Now I've got a few more things I want to go over, but when it comes to the ism, the asma, the only thing I've not talked about is ism kana and khabaru kana. Have you heard about that before?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Have you heard of ism inna and khabar inna?
No, no, no.
Okay. So the reason
I
I
just
never put
I
this
just
on
know that
the
like what it means, like indeed, right?
yeah. So if you say هذا, let's say بيت, yes?
Yeah. Okay.
You this means what? This is a house.
Yeah.
Actually no. I'm gonna say رجل جميل instead. Uh, what does it mean?
Like beautiful man.
Yes, and if you say this,
Like this man is beautiful.
no, it means this is a
Ah,
beautiful man.
this is a beautiful man.
So هذا here is called the mubtada, which is the subject, right?
Okay.
Have you heard of that before?
I haven't. I haven't.
So you have something in when it comes to nouns, jumlatun ismiyah, they're broken down into the subject and the predicate.
Okay.
It's called mubtada and khabar.
Khabar.
Normally, what that means is whenever you have the word is in the sentence, wherever it comes, that's where the break between the mubtada and the khabar is. So if I said this, for example, if you say like this, where's the word is in the sentence? If you translate it.
Like where Jamil is after.
Yes. So you're saying this man, yeah,
Yeah.
is beautiful.
No.
Okay. So basically, generally, whenever the easiest way to like break it down is you're saying something and you're saying something about it. So if I just say like, oh, this phone, and I just stop saying you're like is what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I say like, oh, this is a really good phone, you're like, okay, cool. Like it's a full sentence, it's a completed sentence, right?
Yeah. Okay. Right.
So whenever the word is comes in, that's normally with the break between the mubtada and the khabar.
Aha. So the okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
So this man is beautiful. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if we have in the sentence, as you said, it means indeed. So I'm gonna leave hada in for now. Okay.
Okay.
What inna does is it makes this the mubtada, it makes it mansub. Okay.
So inna makes like and why?
That's just what it does. So what happens now is here we had what's called the mubtada, hada. Okay.
Mhm.
And the khabar is jamil.
No.
You following?
And
When we have inna, gone.
sorry, in the first one, wouldn't the mubtada be like هذا and rajul also?
The rajul here is something called the badal. Okay. The way to explain the badal is it basically like these two words are interchangeable. I can say ar-rajulu jamil. The man is beautiful.
Mhm.
And I can say hadha jamil. I can also say this is beautiful. So whenever you have normally hadha, for example, like hadha rajul, hadha here is the subject, and ar-rajul
Okay.
is called the badal, which just means it's more information about hadha. Yeah, and it also could be interchanged with hadha and still be a full sentence. So to make that not confusing, let's just make it like this. Ar-rajulu jamil. Now we've removed hadha. Ar-rajulu is the mubtada. Okay? The subject. And
Okay,
what are we
but
saying about it?
I,
What is the
I,
go on?
Jamil, but I've understood your point about Badal.
Yes.
Like it just gives them more information about this, like the thing that.
About the khabar. And it's
Yeah.
interchangeable. So it's not like an adjective. For example, if you said like let's give this like example. Let's say qawi. Uh الرجل القوي. You wouldn't say this is a badal. This is what's this called?
الرجل قوي. This
What's the word
مبتدا خبر.
qawi?
Like strong.
No, so no, it's not the khabar. The khabar is still jamil because you're not saying الرجل قوي. The man is strong. This
But
is
it
called the nat, right? This is
the
the adjective.
strong man is beautiful, right?
Exactly. So this is not a badal. Why? Because you would it's this is like a thing which is a word which is specifically a describing word, right? Really. So it would kind of be weird for me to just say like the strong is beautiful. Even that doesn't really make sense, right?
Yeah, yeah. But
Whereas
yeah,
when we said هذا الرجل, you could say هذا جميل, this is beautiful, or you could say الرجل جميل. Both of those can be used on their own. But if you can't just say القوي جميل, like the strength is beautiful. Like it doesn't really make that much sense. Does that make sense
yeah,
or
you
not?
can't you can't use it. Okay.
So here's an example. Uh, Here's the mubtada. Here's the khabar. Yes, this is the badal,
Okay.
and the badal means that like it gives more information about the khabar. I'm sorry about the mubtada, but if I deleted one or the other, we could still make a full
Yeah.
sentence.
Uh-huh.
Whereas
Okay, that's
here,
better.
this is not a badal. This is an adjective, a nat.
And
Because if I delete the mubtada, right, and we just have only this left, it's kind of like it's a weird sentence. Like the strong is beautiful. It doesn't really make sense, right? Would you agree?
yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay, so let's just make it simple and delete hadha altogether. If we delete hadha, then we have ar-rajulu jamil. So ar-rajulu is the mubtada and jamilun is the khabar. Agreed?
Yeah, we can also say هذا جميل, like.
Yes, yes. So here's the mubtada and here's the khabar. If we put inna into the sentence, which you'll find many times when you're listening to the Quran, for example, say inna Allah. Yes? Let's find like I'm sure we can find many examples. Let me see if I can find at the
Can
end
you
of it.
you can just type it, like, I think, into search, or you
Yeah, I can, but I want to see if I can find a specific example. Uh, I'll look for that in a sec. Let me just explain this and then we'll see if I can find a good example. Yeah. Okay, so if I have inna, it changes the mubtada to become mansub. So if you ever find inna, it will say inna Allah. Okay,
okay.
make sense?
So like it would still be mubtada, but it's the only difference it's like mansub, right?
Yes, unfortunately, the name changes. The mubtada now becomes something called the ismu inna. Okay, and the
Uh,
khabar becomes called khabaru inna.
but it still like ismu inna still does the function of mubtada, right? It's still
It's
like
just got a different
practic
name now.
practically mubtada with different name. Okay.
So this is like mubtada'un and khabarun. Yes. Uh,
مبتدا
the-
وخبر.
this is mubtada and khabar. This is the same concept. It's just that this is now this word which was the mubtada is now mansub. It's called the ismu inna. Okay,
Okay, okay,
and the khabar, which was just called khabar before, is still the khabar, but it's called the khabaru inna. So we have ismu inna and khabaru inna. Okay,
okay.
this is super easy to like this. You won't struggle with this. I'm just explaining this to let's just see if I find inna Allah, for example. Uh, I want to see if I can find like a surah that I know a bit better. Okay, this is a nice one. So you see how it says Inna Allah. So this is right here is a full sentence. This whole thing here. Say Inna Allah laghafurun rahim. Yeah?
No. Inna
Okay.
Allah laghafurun rahim.
So inna is called harf at-takkid. It's an emphasizing particle, yeah? And then
Uh-huh.
Allah is ismu inna, mansub. وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة. Okay, so Allah is basically the ism that comes directly after inna, pretty much, right?
Mhm.
There's not normally like a
And
huge
how
like a
how how did you called it? Did you
so it's called harf takkid, which
like
means
no,
the
no,
emphasizing particle. It emphasizes, right?
not inna, I mean like Allah after inna.
So
How
what I
did you
said
call it?
was inna. So Allah ismu inna or lafdhul jalala, like the majestic term, because when you're describing Allah, you don't just say Allah. You normally say lafdhul jalala. This is like it's not just called Allah. It's called the majestic term when you're describing it normally, because it's seen as disrespectful to just say wallah. Allah ismu inna. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, Allah is the ism of inna. It's like it doesn't. It's not respectful normally. Does that make sense?
Like so like you wouldn't say that Allah here is ismu inna. You
It
would say
is
like
ismu inna. Yes, it is ismu inna. But we call it lafdhul jalala, which is just that
more
specifically
respectful, more
is
respectful
all that
Allah.
all lafdhul jalala just means the majestic term, which is separate from what we're talking about. It just means this here. But we don't. But the way they describe it normally is when they're doing the i'rab, the grammatical breakdown. They don't just say Allah is the ismu inna. You know what I mean? Because it just sounds like you're reducing Allah to like just some grammatical point. You know what I mean? So they don't normally describe it like that. But so the word Allah is the ism in the sentence. Okay?
But they would not call it because it's like it's not
Disrespectful.
respectful. It's
Yeah, so they say
disrespectful.
so they would say
This
so
is
inna harfu takid, emphasizing particle,
and
wa
Allah lafzul
lafdhul jalala,
jalala.
the majestic term is ismu inna, mansub. Yeah, mansub has a fatha, right? وعلامة نصبه and its sign of being mansub الفتحة الظاهرة, the apparent fatha. So its sign of being mansub is that it has a fatha, right? Are we on the same page?
Yeah, sign of mansub is it like
Yeah.
having
You
fatha.
say وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة.
And part before that they would say like inna is like
حرف التأكيد.
حرف التقييد and تأكيد
With a
and
kaf, yeah.
حرف التقييد and Allah they would say lafzul jalala, right?
اسم إن, yeah. منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة. What's the sign of being mansub? It has a fatha, right?
It has a fatha.
الظاهرة. The apparent fatha which is there right on the word, right?
Yeah, it has the fatha. Yeah.
Yes. And then we have غفور, yes, which is like the khabar in the sentence that we were looking at before.
Uh-huh,
And the
so
khabar is going to be marfu'. So khabru inna. So غفور here is khabru inna. Okay.
qabru inna.
So here
Okay.
before we had inna Allah laghafurun. Here we have inna rajula jamilun. So the ism after inna is mansub. Okay. And jamil is going to be marfu'. Are we on the same page?
Nah.
Okay. That one, once you watch the video back, like that one is not confusing. Okay. What I want to explain, which will probably take more than this lesson, is more confusing, but is very important. I would like to leave it out,
You mean
but
you mean inna is not confusing, right?
no.
Yeah, inna
Like
inna is not confusing. Yeah,
it's
it's easy. It's easy.
whatever the noun is directly after inna, you put a fatha on it. That's pretty much the
Yeah, and
idea, right? You know
like
what I mean? And
and
that's what you
same
need to know.
sentence structure
Yeah.
jumla ismiya like
Yes. Now we have something which is like kana. Now, kana yakunu, I'm trying to avoid explaining grammar as much as I can, but of all the stuff, this is the last thing that I've left to explain. And
Yeah,
the reason is because kana means was and yakunu means is. And you will use these words a lot. Agreed?
yeah. You would
Like
use
it's
you would
hard
use
to
kana.
avoid using these words, okay? Whereas inna, really you don't use that much. I know it's in the Quran a lot, but you don't use it like all the time when you're speaking. You can avoid using it if you want to, right? Like if you're worried about it, you can avoid using inna, right?
Okay, okay.
Whereas kana, كيف كان يومك? كان يومي جيدا. Like how are you going to say how was your day without using the word was, right? It's hard
Yeah.
to. So the way it works is the opposite of inna. So it's like this and it's like
Aha,
this.
so aha.
Okay?
Okay, okay.
And then الرجل is اسم كان and جميل is خبر كان.
خبر كان. نعم.
Okay? So very simply, it does the exact opposite thing of what inna does. Okay? Now inna has a bunch of like what they call sisters. Like you can say لكن. That's like it does the same thing as uh so for example, if I say لكن الرجل, if I want to use lakin, it works the same as inna. And it would be called, did you understand what I just said or was it confusing?
So like if we use lack, what's the meaning of lakin? But it would
Look,
mean the same thing.
but
Okay,
but what it does, it's called a sister. Lakin is a sister of inna. All that means is it just does the exact same thing as inna in terms of the grammar.
okay, 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 okay.
So it would the sentence would like this: "Lakinna الرجل جميل." But the
Okay.
man is beautiful, and this is called here. A rajul is called ism lakinna, and the khabar is called khabar lakinna. Does that make sense?
نعم, but like it's the same thing as a
Same
اسمه
concept.
إن. اسمه إن. Same concept. Okay.
Yeah, same concept. Whereas now this is confusing now. So I want to find let's find the same example and put them next to each other. Now we can find وَكَانَ اللَّهُ مثلًا غَفُورًا
رحيم.
رَحِيمًا. So this is how kana is working. Now we said inna Allah. Now we say kana Allahu. You following?
Like with the inna, like مبتدا would have a fatha, and when we use kana, مبتدا has a dhamma.
Yes. Okay. Here's a perfect example, yeah? وَكَانَ,
Mm.
yeah? Allahu غَفُورًا
رحيم.
رَحِيمًا. Yeah?
Yeah.
Are we on the same page? So what has it done now? What kana has done is made the word rajul. It's called now the rajul is now instead of being called the mubtada, which it was called in the original sentence, right? It's now called the
اسمه
ismu
كان.
kana. And now the khabar becomes mansub.
Mhm.
Okay, so when you say kana yomi jayidan, you say
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
jayidan
yeah.
because
منسوب.
jayid is khabaru kana because you said kana in the
نعم,
sentence.
نعم, نعم.
So that makes sense so far, yeah. The
Yeah, it
reason
does.
that's confusing is because inna, pretty much you're safe to just the next word after inna, put a fatha on it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now, if I said innaka, مثلا innaka jamilun, it's easy because the kaf is the ismu inna. So nothing changes in the sentence. Just say innaka jamilun. Yeah?
Yeah, because ka is the same, like it
Yes.
remains the same.
Now, but if I say kunta, like you were beautiful, right? If I say kunta, I can't say kunta jamilun. I have to say kunta jamilan. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Okay, yeah, because we all okay.
Because now kunta is working like a verb, basically. So the reason why this is confusing is because finding the khabar is much more difficult than finding the mubtada in most cases. If it's a very long sentence, yeah, here it's easy, right? There's only 3 words.
So like when we have a long sentence, like it would be hard to find a mubtada because like
No,
or
the
khabar,
khabar
yeah,
is normally
khabar.
harder to find. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
So we can go
because
through that in the future. Go ahead.
it has a kasra and khabar generally has a like dhamm.
No, this has a fatha.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
khabar.
fatha,
You
fatha,
mean
fatha.
yeah. So it's just because sometimes I don't know if you saw this once, but Ustaz Dawood sent us like
Yeah,
a really tough one.
I saw he sent a voice message, so like,
Was it? He sent like some super difficult verse in the Quran.
I didn't
Uh,
saw that, I think.
see if I can find
But
it.
I saw like somebody asked him like, and he answered with a
Yeah,
voice
here,
message.
here. Okay, if you type in difficult test, okay,
I think,
look at this here. Here you have inna, yeah.
okay. Inna
And so
fi
inna, you think normally it's like
khalq.
what happens is you see how long this verse is.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes the mubtada and the khabar are not easy to find. What happens, I think, from what I remember in memory, inna, the the mubtada and the khabar are like switched round, and the mubtada is like this word right here, la ayatin, and then the khabar starts right here, and like the khabar is like all the way up to wal ard. That whole
Wait,
thing is the khabar. So
so
some Go ahead.
la'ayatin is a mubtada, right?
Yeah, so yeah, but the mubtada is delayed right until the end. You know what I mean?
But why? Like so khabar comes first?
It can do, yeah.
Yeah, why? I didn't know
So
that. Okay.
that can be confusing. That's why it's so confusing. So I went through with my teacher and we broke it down. So if you wanna watch that, I might be able to just link it to you. Uh, I'll send it to you after this. Yeah, you can
Okay.
watch that if you want to
Thanks.
see something interesting. Now, what I want to so now that we've understood that helps, right? Okay, what I want to go through now, we've got another 5 minutes, right? But we might have to do it in another lesson. Once we've done this, I'm finished explaining the majority of grammar when it comes to nouns. Okay, that's why I just
Okay.
want to finish it, and then
Yeah.
anybody in the future they can just watch the video. So next time, what we'll do, maybe tomorrow, if we have time, it shouldn't take that long. Is can you see this sentence? Kana masjidun
جميلًا.
jamilan.
نعم.
Was it translation?
Masjid was beautiful.
So like a masjid was beautiful.
A masjid was beautiful. Okay.
Okay, if we put al on the word masjidun, it
The
becomes
masjid.
yeah.
The masjid was beautiful.
Yes, kana al masjidu. Okay, now we're gonna go through pretty much all of the different nouns and how they look whether they're mamnu' min as-sarf, whether they're sound masculine plural, sound feminine plural, and what have you. Right? So we don't have time to do that now, but that's what I want to go through. So have you seen the word masajidu, for example?
Masajidu? That's a plural of masjid, right?
Yes. So this should be masajidu. One second.
And
Okay,
when we count things, like when we count plural masculine things, we use the like the feminine, right?
exactly. So that's why
And
we
and
said kanat and we said jamilatan. We used the singular feminine, right?
and also the same thing with feminine, but we use the masculine one, right?
No, anything that is not a human or a jinn or an angel, okay? You're if you're talking about counting 3 to 10, it's a different rule, okay?
Okay.
That's a different rule. There's a lesson on that. If you need that, I can send that to you. But here, we're describing masjids, and we want to give it an attribute. like
Ah,
being beautiful. Now we don't look at the numbers thing. The way we use it is that if you ever find a plural of any word, whether it be tree, houses, books, ideas, whatever it is, right? That's not a human, jinn, or angel. We use the singular feminine
mhm.
way of describing it. So here we say
Ah, yeah,
jamil, jamilatan. Okay,
yeah.
so
I've
that's
wrote
where
it.
we. Okay, so kanat. Okay, so this word masajidu is still indefinite in this sentence, but it doesn't have. It's not masajidun. Do you know why?
I don't.
Okay, so you see how the word here you have masjidun, yeah,
Yeah.
and you have masajidu. This is
Okay.
called mamnu'un min as-sarf. Have you heard that before?
ممنوع من الصرف. You've explained to me like
Yes. It's okay, you can explain it again. So what mamnu' min as-sarf means, it means it's a type of noun that doesn't take a kasra
yeah.
and it doesn't take tanween. Okay? So
Okay.
even though this means masjids were beautiful. So you might say, you know, a long time ago, masjids were beautiful, but now they're not. For example, I don't know.
Yeah.
You might say that, right? So you say masajidu, you don't say masajidun. Agreed?
مساجد. Yeah. You don't say مساجد. Oh, yeah.
The point is, if you look here, for example, you say رأيت, you saw مساجد. It's the object, it takes a fatha, right? In this sentence, what we're trying to learn is that this is the mubtada, or this is now not the mubtada, but it's called the ismu kana, and it's marfu', meaning it takes a dhamma, yeah? And the khabaru kana takes a fatha, it's mansub,
Yeah.
yeah?
Because it's اسمه كان and خبر كان.
Exactly. So that's the main thing that we're trying to learn from this column right here, right?
Okay.
The next one, if we make it ma'rifah instead of nakira, if we make it the, we put al on it, right? It's still kanatil masajidu or kanat al masajidu jamilatan. That's how it would look, right?
Okay.
That makes sense so far? You don't
Yeah.
have to memorize this. I'm just showing you how the different words work.
So the same thing is with definite ones. When
No,
with
for some
what?
reason, when with mamnu' min as-sarf, if you add al to the word, it can take a kasra. So
Yeah.
in the example above, you can have a look at this file.
I think you've told me also that.
Yes.
Uh,
So it only takes a fatha if it's indefinite. So I
Okay.
said, for example, dhahabtu ila masajid. I went to masjids in that country. But if I now put al on it and I said I went to the
Yeah.
masjids, it can take a kasra. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, we can stop here if you want, and we can try to finish it tomorrow. We just have to go through. Ultimately, we don't even have to go through it because we've explained how all these words work. But the main thing that we do need to understand is the idea of the ism kana and the khabaru kana. The
Mhm.
reason why is just because if you want to speak correctly, you have to you have some knowledge of how the word kana works. That's why you say kana yomi jayidan instead of jayidun, right?
Yeah. Okay. And
So you
like
say, go ahead.
I've wrote with Ustad Davut, but I didn't go through it. Like I didn't learn it. I just like wrote it. Like I wrote when a word is basically a non-intelligent plural. Plural is not intelligent things like books and pens. It can and usually is referred to with a singular feminine. Asma'ul ishara would be also feminine.
Exactly.
But I didn't go through it like to
Yeah,
learn it.
that's all it is. So all you have to know, if it's not a human or a jinn or an angel, everything else, if it's plural, is singular feminine. So you would say kanat, for example.
Uh-huh. So can we say is ashhur? Is that plural?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
can
yeah.
we say
Because shahrun is the singular, and
Mhm.
ashhurun is the plural. So you treat it as singular feminine.
So we would say كان أشهر كانت أشهر or how كانت أشهر جيد
جيدا
جيدا.
or جيدة. You have to say, right? Because it's feminine.
Okay.
But you say كان يومي جيدا. You don't say جيدة because يوم. You just. But if you want to say the days were beautiful. You say كانت الأيام جميلة.
كانت الأيام جميلة.
Okay, so if you're using كان, you say كان اليوم. You say كان, right? كان اليوم جميلا. Yeah.
Yeah, كان يوم جميلا.
But if we're saying كانت الأيام, we say كانت, and now we say أيام. كانت. You just put a kasra here because there's a hamzatul wasl there, right?
Yeah,
So
it
you'd say كانت الأيام, and then you say جميلة. Yeah, like that.
okay.
Okay, so the only thing that we need to know is if kana is in the sentence, a lot of the time, depending on the structure of the sentence, something has to be mansub. And it's not as easy as just saying, okay, whatever comes after kana is mansub. It's the opposite, unfortunately. So whatever comes after kana normally is marfu', and we need to
Yeah,
figure out where the khabar is, basically.
because it's mansub.
Yeah, because it takes practice. So that's I just wanted to explain it to you guys, so you have an explanation. And we can go through the rest of this because it's not that much now. And then we've
And
kind of
like,
done everything, and then we've explained all of this information already, like in the videos over here, all these cases of nouns. So if you have any questions on this, I'd go through all of this, and once we finish this, will be like part 8 and part 9, and then that's like a huge amount of the Arabic grammar, like explained when it comes to nouns, at least.
and
So we're
like,
gonna,
mhm.
yeah, go ahead.
And is there? I know what I know. Kana, I know kunta, I know kunti, kuntu. But is there a plural word?
Yeah,
Word of
kanu, right?
kanu is a plural. Okay.
So you could probably find that.
They were.
Yeah,
But we wouldn't use, of course, like كانوا أشهر or كانوا أيام because
it's not a human, jinn, or angel.
yeah, so we
But you
use
say
كانت.
الرجال كانوا مسلمين. You won't say muslimuna because the word muslimun becomes mansub in that sentence, right? You
So
following?
كانوا, can you repeat the sentence? كانوا
Okay, you got two ways of saying it. كان الرجال.
كان الرجال.
So if we start with kana, then it's just kana. We've explained that before, right? Because it works like a verb,
Yeah,
right?
we did like
So we
جملة
say
اسمية فعلية.
So now we say muslimin. If you haven't seen this word, well, we were going to describe it pretty much very soon. But the sound masculine word, for example, muslimun, you just take muslimun and you just add una, right? Have you seen
مسلمون.
that before? Kafiruna, muslimuna, mu'minuna, muallimuna. Are you
مسلمون.
following?
Okay.
It's called a sound masculine plural. So, for example, you have the word muslimun. Yeah. If you want to say Muslims, you just take the word Muslimun and you just remove the tanwin and you add una. You following? So you just say Muslimuna. That's the plural.
Okay.
Okay. For example, that's called a sound masculine plural. But for example, if you have Baytun, it's not. Actually, let's make it a human thing.
It's not بيتونة.
Yes. Or if you have Talibun,
It's not طالبون. Right?
it's not Talibun. It's Tullabun.
طلاب. So that's not unsound. Like how's it called?
It's not غيره. It is. This is عاقل, like جمع عاقل. It is a this does describe humans, right? But some of the plural words are broken plurals. This is called broken plurals. جمع التكسير, and some
Mhm.
of them are sound. This is a sound one. Sound one just means you add una, basically.
So like قلام أقلام.
Yeah, that's broken. جمع
Yeah, that's
التكسير.
broken. Yeah.
Broken. But
Okay,
anything that
okay.
just has una, كافرون, مؤمنون, معلمون, مدرسون, muslimuna, whatever, like anything that has una, it's going to be describing like a human. It's called sound masculine plural, basically, right?
Right.
I'll explain it super quick. Whenever you make this mansub, like if it already ends with a fatha, but this is marfu'. Yeah?
Okay. Oh, مرفوع, why? I don't know. Have I seen Muslimun and like the examples you brought to me, but I've seen Muslimina.
Look, if the word is marfu' and it's a sound masculine plural, a word ending with una, it is marfu'. 100%. No question. Okay?
Okay.
If it ends with ina, muslimina, it could be what? Majroor, or it could be mansub. They both come, it could be either of these. But the marfu' is una. Okay? You following? The wow turns
Okay,
into a
okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
If the word, so for example, we've explained this already, right? Yeah. So you have al muslimuna. But if I went to them, I don't say dhahabtu ila al muslimuna. I say dhahabtu ila al muslimina.
إلى المسلمين, نعم.
Okay. If I say ra'aytu now and I say the Muslims, I saw the Muslims, it becomes the same, it becomes ina. Okay. So has al muslimuna. This is marfu' with a wow. Ra'ayta, you saw al muslimina. Okay.
And
Both
like,
of them have a yeah. That's their sign of being either majroor or mansub.
yeah. I've got it. Like Muslimuna is marfu', and if we have Muslimina, it could be either majrur or it can be mansub.
Yeah,
But
it depends. You
Muslimina,
have to figure it out, right? So if you
I
say ilal muslimina, it's half jar ism majroor. But if you
yeah.
say ra'ayta al muslimina,
That's the object.
it's not ism. It's not half jar ism majroor. It's the object, right?
Yeah. And like
So
for example, I've heard Muslim like inna al muslimina wal muslimati in Surah Al
yeah,
Asr. Like inna, we have the, and because of that, it's mansub. Muslimina there is it's mansub, right?
exactly. Perfect. Okay, you got that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this will look like this. So it depends. If you start with kana, so this means the men were Muslims. Okay. Now you're talking about how do I make kanu? If we start with the ism instead, we've talked about that before, right?
Yeah, we talked
Then we
about it.
say
Yeah.
kanu muslimin.
Like ضرب الرجال ناس, like, and if we said it otherwise, we would use ضربوا, like
Yeah, الرجال ضربوا.
ضربوا.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's finish on this because my wife is gonna be sad with me if I don't. I was
Okay,
supposed to
Ustad.
finish 10 minutes. Let me explain something quick here.
Okay, Ustad.
So this is a jumlatun fi'liya because kana works like a fi'l. Okay. Now, so this is kana. Yeah. This word here, الرجال, is marfu' and it is ism kana. Agreed? This word here is khabar kana mansub. Its sign of being mansub is the ya.
Yeah,
Agreed?
okay. Agreed.
Now, here we have a jumlatun ismiya because we're starting with an ism. Okay? So this is the mubtada.
And
Yeah?
all of that is
This
khabar.
whole thing is the
Yeah.
khabar. Jumlatun fi'liya as a khabar. Okay? Now, kana is obviously kana. The wow specifically is the ism kana. This wow, this is the plural one. So,
Aha, كانوا. Okay, that's the
okay, so
plural.
this is the ism kana here. The wow is the ism kana. Okay, and the khabar kana is the same. Muslimin. Mansub. Does that make sense to you? Or not?
I've got like I've already I don't know like what's the reasoning behind it, but I know when there is a jumla fi'liya, I know you would use a singular, like for example ضرب الناس,
Yes.
but when it's the other way around, when it's جملة اسمية, you would have to use like pronouns like ضربوا, like they. But I
Yes. And
but I don't know the reasoning behind it. I just
that's
know
just the
like
way that it's yeah, we can go over that more in the future. But the
okay.
way it works is, for example, here, when you said رأيت, the ta that I've colored in purple here is the doer of the verb. This is a pronoun. It's an actual, like, this is anta. Yes, the ta.
Yeah.
But with
رأيت.
the plural, the pronoun is actually the wow,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
meaning they. It's like it's actually like whom. That's what it means. It means whom.
Yeah. That's the pronoun. Yeah.
That's the pronoun. So here, as I said, we have kana, and
And
then
the
the
pronoun.
wow is the ism kana, and then the Muslimin is mansub khabar kana.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yes.
If you have any
Yes. I've
questions,
got
watch it
it.
back, inshallah, and let me know.
Okay.
Okay?
جزاك الله
Jazaak.
خير.